everyone, welcome to segment 6 of Pilates P's and Q's. Today I'm going to start talking about owning your end ranges. But before we do, it's really important to distinguish the differences between our passive ranges, or what I like to refer as flexibility, and active ranges, or mobility. And it's important to distinguish these differences before moving on to these really cool and easy techniques and tips that I'm going to be showing you that you can easily integrate into your current workouts. Now, what do I mean by passive stretches? Passive means there is an external force being provided in order for that position or movement to look or move a certain way. It wouldn't look the same if that external force wasn't present. This external force could be gravity, the floor, a handhold or partner, or even momentum, like rocking. Rocking would look totally different for many of us, most definitely for me, without the use of our hands or even gravity for that matter. Now, what I'm suggesting isn't that we start doing everything without passive assistance, although that might make for an interesting and fun social experiment. But seeing where we can improve our end range strength and control independent of other surrounding joints, or being in these areas that we are passively being assisted, can help the overall improvement of that exercise and others like it. This is why I like breaking things down into all their little joint pieces or prerequisites to hone in on what in particular needs work in order to keep improving or to be able to get into those positions, or better yet, have access to even more movement in those areas. I've had a request to look at rolling series and a specific request to improve control through boomerang. And there are a lot of moving pieces in these movements. Several areas need to have end range strength, like what I'm talking about. So we can start taking away passive assistance or external forces to look at these gaps and work to close those gaps. And even after that, there's still the control needed at those ranges. Can you rotate maximally at your end range? Can you produce force at that end range? Can you absorb force at that end range? So not only looking at the areas that need to be stretched to have the tissue length needed, but also the strength to hold it, being able to move with control in that end range, and eventually build capacities to tolerate load, to produce and absorb force, which is what you need to launch a ball at 90 miles per hour, to soften a landing, or to sprint over a hurdle. But there's more. Training end ranges could prevent or mitigate, I know, big word, reduce or lessen the severity of injuries. Preparing end ranges for positions that we typically don't work in, like working ranges that happen during a lateral sprain or a sudden impact to overhead flexion, which I'm also excited to dip into next time, because how many of us ended up in Pilates, and for me as a mobility specialist, as a result of injury recovery and rehab? So start thinking of all the different ways you can start adding these end range holds simply by taking those passive assistance away. And I'll be sharing some of my fun explorations as well. Should make for a fun dive into our practices, right? Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.